Guys, here's the thing. Pablo Rafael Rua brought some information that matched a lot with what we reported on Placar. Earlier, Flamengo adjusted their offer. Ashram asked for a bit more upfront, a bit more paid immediately, less in installments so they can sign and also reduce the bonus. So what happens? I didn't know the amount would go over our real Brazilian currency because I knew that BAP had set a limit of our real Brazilian currency for the entire operation. Pablo Rafael Rua shared this info. We credit Flamengo for achieving the full our real Brazilian currency amount for the operation. I asked if it could exceed that amount of our real Brazilian currency, but they wouldn't confirm any figures and just said it won't go over that amount. In other words, there is no amount above our real Brazilian currency, so at this moment they are not confirming the amount. But Pablo Rafael Rua says in our real Brazilian currency that they wanted the fixed amount to go up a little more and another our real Brazilian currency in bonuses, reaching our real Brazilian currency out of our real Brazilian currency. It's a huge sum and a gigantic offer if it gets confirmed. Now, what we have on the record, they just asked us not to mention who we talked to. They've never been this close, the numbers between what Flamengo wants and what West Ham asks. And to release him now, in this transfer window? The other important point for us to mention is that the fixed amount is also being increased, but there's still an installment part. They want to use it to sign a replacement for Paquetá, making up for his departure and funding a new player. That's why they need to pay a higher fixed amount and more upfront. The fixed amount and upfront payment are separate. One is upfront, the other is in installments. The fixed amount is guaranteed. The bonus is variable. So, according to Pablo Rafael, Rua would be that's it, nobody refused. What they said is that there is no offer, no proposal adjustment higher than R, there is no such amount, nothing about reaching R, nothing like that, R, none of those. Then Flamengo confirms it. Another important piece of information for us to share with you is that Vene Casagrande mentioned a tax that has to be paid. I'm checking here to see if at least this amount can be paid in installments. If this amount, then it's Flamengo that has to cover everything, but there really is an amount. The purchase is still marked as bigger because there's a tax that has to be paid on the transaction and Flamengo would have to cover it. But we'll bring this information to you. As soon as we have everything figured out, the amounts could reach even more impressive numbers. Oh, and we can't forget there are still agent fees and commissions that have to be paid to intermediaries and everything else. That's a hefty amount.